Hey, it's Dick here with today's Life app. I want to talk about how to make your life effective. Just a few principles that really transform the effectiveness of your life. And I want you to embrace these. You know, something Joan and I have learned over the years is to embrace these types of principles that help us make us more productive and fruitful. And of course, I'm talking about productive and fruitful in many ways, either financially, for yourself, and of course then for others, but also in ministry or in business. Now, Joan and I have had an interesting experience because we've been successful in ministry, we were very successful in business prior to that, and now we're in business again, and back in ministry too as well, and we've experienced success in business. So we do understand these principles. You know, the first principle is this, is having a vision. But, you know, let's define that a little more clearly. A vision is the ability to see beyond your limitations. You know, it may seem hard for you to embrace, but you have to see beyond what you think your limitations are. If you see your business being so big, of a certain size, you've got to have the ability to see beyond it. You know, one of the quotes of John Maxwell I always find is very interesting. He says, if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. And what he was simply saying is if you stay within your limitation, that's all you'll ever get. You have to break beyond it. So you have to create some goals and some vision beyond that. And sometimes people look at you a little funny when they go, really? Do you think you're going to do that? I have also been careful that I don't make my vision quantum leaps ahead of where I am today. If my business is doing 5 million a year, then I'm not going to say, well, next year is 50 million. No, a realistic goal would be to say, well, maybe the most is be double that, 5 million to 10 million. But, you know, you take something that is within your scope and you expand it. The next thing is being passionate. Passionate means being empowered by the dream. Something that really, you know, grips you. You know, one of the things that we have been involved in is in a business with Ryan. Our son-in-law, Chris Cook, was part of this, our Xana Wealth Group business, as well as Joan's business. And Joan's business with Expressions, Gift and Gourmet, she's passionate about what she does. And she does it with excellence and perfection. And you know what? That's what drives the success. Everyone that buys product from Joan goes, man, that stuff is amazing. And it is. It absolutely is. And everything we do, we have to do with a certain degree of passion. Then there's discipline. A discipline is so important. And why is that important in terms of success? Discipline means that you don't do some things. You restrain yourself, in other words, from doing certain things, which you could do, but they don't help you. Well, you know, discipline when it comes to eating habits, for example, help you stay in the right weight. Discipline in a lot of areas, help you. And you know, very often, and I can attest to this, when we get outside of the parameters of discipline, we often create great trouble for ourselves. So hey, and then, you know, the last step I want to talk about is action. I see a lot of people, you know, they talk about the dream, they talk about this, they talk about that, but they're not willing to take action. I'll tell you why they aren't. Sometimes they're lazy. Sometimes they just don't know what to do. Or thirdly, they want to take the step to the final goal, and they don't want to take the intermediary step. What I have found is every journey starts with taking the first step. You know, I used to jokingly always say this, especially when we were on Partner Week broadcasts, we would say, you know, the way you eat an elephant is one bite at a time. Actually, that is a principle. It's a principle of take action. What do? You just have to start somewhere. May not seem glorious, but you got to start somewhere. Well, that's today's Life app. Hope it helps you. Stay tuned. We got many more coming.